Applying for a master's degree in the UK? If so, you'll likely be needing to write a graduate personal statement as part of your application, which is exactly what we're going through in this video. Hi, my name is Zoe and I'm a native English speaker and university applications essay editor and consultant. Over the past 6 years, I've corrected over 3,000 university application documents for students who've gone into some of the top universities around the world, including top universities in the UK. I'm also the founder of Xena International Education, a company specializing in services including university application essays consulting. So, if you'd like extra support with your university application documents, including your UK graduate personal statement, leave us a message or visit www.xenainternationaleducation.com/collegeapp.php to find out more. Okay, let's get right into it then. Okay, first of all, what is a UK graduate personal statement? Well, a graduate personal statement is essentially a formal academic essay that you submit to each individual university that you apply to. And its purpose is to explain why you want to study this specific course that you're applying for, why you want to study it at that particular university, and why you're prepared for postgraduate level study. Unlike undergraduate or US style essays, UK graduate personal statements are far more academic, focused, and specific. So, what things do you need to include? Requirements will vary slightly between universities, so always double check official guidelines. However, most UK graduate personal statements will need to address why you want to study this specific subject, why you want to study it at this particular university, your academic interests within the field, how your undergraduate studies, projects, dissertation, internships, or research have prepared you for these postgraduate studies, any relevant technical and transferable skills, your future academic or career goals, and how you can contribute to the program and academic community. I know it's a lot, but don't worry. I'll walk you through how to approach this logically and give you a clear structure shortly. But first, I'll be going over some things that you should be aware of and some things that you should not do. First of all, like I said before, unlike in US essays or US personal statements, UK graduate statements are a lot more formal and a lot more academic. The focus should be on your academic background and your intellectual development, not personal storytelling. That said though, when I say don't tell a personal story, I don't mean that the statement shouldn't be personal. The statement should absolutely be about you. It's a personal statement. It should be about you. However, you need to avoid narrative style storytelling, dramatic backstories, or childhood anecdotes. Instead, focus more on the academic side of things, but still make it about you. Secondly, graduate personal statements must be very, very specific, even more specific than your undergrad essays. Avoid vague or general statements. So everyone will be saying that they're passionate or they're interested in the subject. Be precise about exactly what you're interested in. Be precise about what you studied, what you learned, and why it matters, as well as the specific aspects of the program that you're applying to that interest you. Third, and this is very, very important. I probably should put it first. But anyway, please do not treat your personal statements like an expanded version of your CV or resume, or like a laundry list of your achievements. Do not do this. You do not and should not list out everything that you've done. Only include experiences that are relevant to the theme of your essay. And the theme is something we'll discuss shortly. But remember, you do not treat your essay like a laundry list of achievements. Don't list out everything. And even if you do list out relevant experiences, you can't just list them out. That's useless. But every experience and achievement that you write out or that you list, you absolutely must explain what you did, why it was important, and what you learned, or how this experience or this achievement has prepared you for graduate studies. That's really important. You can't just list out your achievements or your experiences without explaining further about why they matter. Even if you're just mentioning books, courses, or research, you must always explain the relevance and how the skills and knowledge that you've learned will support you in reaching your goals. Always explain why. Fourth, avoid sounding overly negative. Yes, you can still mention any gaps or weaknesses that you have to explain your motivation for studying further. However, don't dwell on them. Remember, a personal statement should be focusing on you and how you're ready for university. Don't spend too much time talking about your weaknesses. Fifth, do not, and I repeat this again, do not overload your essay with excessive technical jargon or flowery language. Yes, it should be academic, but remember, admission officers are reading through thousands of essays, and having a clear and readable essay will help make it easier for them to find ways to admit you. Finally, structure and proofreading are crucial. UK universities are very strict about clarity, grammar, and logical flow. Poor writing creates a negative impression immediately, so please make sure you proofread. Okay, so now that I've talked a lot about what to be aware of and what not to do, let's talk about how we should actually approach the personal statement, shall we? Before you start writing though, there are a few really important things that you absolutely have to do. First of all, make sure that you research the program that you're applying to thoroughly. Go to the official university and program website and look closely at the course structure, the modules, research areas, projects, opportunities, and the faculty. Think about whether these opportunities actually align with your goals and your interests, and whether you would actually want to study here. Otherwise, there's no point wasting time applying and writing a graduate personal statement. So make sure you research the program thoroughly and are confident that you would want to attend this program and undertake this program if you're accepted. Step 2, please also make sure that you check the requirements of the required personal statement carefully. So make sure you check if there are any specific questions that you have to answer, whether there are any required content, or importantly, whether there are any page or word limits. Make sure you follow these guidelines and limits very carefully. If there's a word limit, you have to follow it. If there's a page limit, you have to follow it. If there's specific questions you have to answer, you have to make sure you answer them. Okay, so now that you're done with the research stage, you know what the program's about, and you know the requirements, the next really important step is to brainstorm. So ask yourself, what specific aspect of the subject interests you? So be very specific. So don't just say that you're interested in physics. Say which area of physics. Is it quantum mechanics? Is it medical imaging? Is it policy applications of physics? So things that are really niche. Be specific. And also talk about, where did your interest come from? So did it come from a particular course, a book, project, internship, or research experience? You need to know exactly where it came from. And importantly, from this experience, what exactly did you gain from it? And importantly, how does this interest connect directly with the program that you're applying to? Very important that you think about this. Also, when brainstorming, you also need to think about your future goals, whether that be your academic, professional, or research-based. Think specifically about exactly what you want to do. And something that I recommend doing is you think about a specific problem in the field that you want to work on, that you hope to work on in your career, or whether you're in research or in industry. Think of a specific problem in the field that you want to work on. That makes your essay a lot more specific. Also, think about which undergraduate courses, projects, or your dissertation are most relevant to your goals, to your interests, that you can talk about in your essay. And what skills did you develop that had prepared you for this program? And again, drawing back on the research that you've done, think about which modules, professors, or research groups at this university most align with your interests. And also how you as a person, how you as a student could contribute academically or professionally to this program. And by answering these questions, you're essentially generating the raw material for your graduate personal statement. Next, once you've done the brainstorm, I actually recommend that you choose a particular theme for your essay. So this theme, I recommend it to be a specific area or issue that you're interested in that relates to both your career goals and the program itself. It's really important that this theme relates to the program you're applying to. Otherwise, you'll seem a bit irrelevant, and it won't help strengthen your argument about why you actually want to study at this university or why you want to study this program. This theme will guide you on what to include in terms of your experiences and what to leave out. Okay, so now that we've talked about what to do before writing, let's actually get into the writing stage. And I'm going to give you one possible structure that you can use. This is just one way to go about it. There are many other structures that you can go with. And again, it will depend on your writing style and your personal experiences. But this is my structure. Beginning with the opening, I recommend starting with short, sharp sentence that introduces your academic interest and theme. So I know some people like to begin with, I'm applying to blah, blah, blah. But this is rather generic and something that admission officers have seen countless times. If you want to stand out, you should start with a strong, sharp sentence that introduces your academic interest and theme. This sentence also should kind of help showcase your knowledge of the field. So for example, if I'm applying for biomedical engineering, I could say something like, while medicine saves lives, medical innovation has the power to transform entire societies. So I'm already focusing my essay on the idea of innovation in biomedical engineering, and that's the focus I want to draw on in my essay. So, and this short, sharp sentence immediately shows focus, insight, and direction, which is what you want to do. It helps you stand out. It hooks in the reader and makes them engaged to keep reading. But at the same time, it's still academic, which is really important in a UK graduate personal statement. Next, briefly explain where this perspective and insight came from. So whether it's a project, a course, article, or experience, be very, very specific and explain what you gained and how you're interested in going further into this area through the particular course that you're applying to. Next, what I recommend doing is talking about the specific experience that you've had that prepared you for the course that you're applying for and that have helped you develop your particular interest in the theme or your particular knowledge in the theme or area that you're interested in going further into. So this includes undergraduate courses, projects, dissertation, research, internships, etc. Generally, move in chronological order, but always prioritize relevance. Importantly though, do not just list out your experiences, like I said before. For each experience, give some context, explain what you did, explain what you learnt, and how this is directly relevant to your interest and postgraduate studies. Make sure you reflect on your experiences, which is really important in a graduate personal statement. You can also include relevant extracurricular or leadership experiences and the soft skills that you've gained if they're relevant to your career and if they can help you contribute to the university. For example, you can talk about how patience is important in research and how you got it through a particular experience and how you can use this trait to help our future classmates and in future projects. Next, you can either talk about how these experiences have led you to your career goals, or if you want, you can first to choose going to how this university program is the right fit for you. Be very, very specific. Talk about particular modules, research areas, professors, teaching approaches, and how they align with your interests and goals. You can also talk about department strengths and things outside the classroom, as well as career opportunities, symposiums, career fairs, etc. Just make sure that you always link back to your own experiences and explain how they are relevant or link back to your future goals. So if you haven't done so already, you can now talk about your future goals and how this program will help you reach your academic and professional goals and how you hope to contribute to a particular aspect or issue in the field that you've already established through your theme. Finally, we conclude. So end strongly by reinforcing your motivation, tying back to your opening theme, and emphasizing your readiness for postgraduate study and contribution to the university and wider field. So leave the admission officers feeling confident in your suitability for attending. And there you have it, a UK graduate personal statement. Remember, you have to write a separate graduate personal statement for each course and each university that you're applying to. And you likely also won't get it perfect in the first draft. So make sure that you start early so that you have time for multiple revisions and changes. If you'd like professional help with your graduate personal statement, feel free to contact us or comment UK Grad PS below and we'll get in touch with you. Good luck to everyone applying for graduate studies in the UK, and I'll see you in the next video.